Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. We are driving to work with big news. I honestly had to pick up the phone and I had to call one of my friends to make sure I understood this deal before it went through. But WWE has signed a new streaming deal for their television. On first look of the deal, when I was first reading it, I was waking up. I was trying to get the sleet out of my eyes. I honestly thought it was the new Hulu deal, where basically they were going to be streaming all of their old television. Most of the time when you think of Netflix, you think of like old shows, old movies. I know that they have new shows, they have comedy specials, this, that, and the other now, but to me, honestly, when I think of it, I still think of like the thing that comes along for free with your DVD mail subscription. But this is changing the game big. This is possibly the biggest thing that Netflix has ever done, besides for like signing Dave Chappelle. The Seinfeld deal was huge when they paid all that money for the reruns to have the catalog. They took it from Hulu. I remember that news was big, and I couldn't believe how much money they actually paid. I was like, dude, I got the DVD sitting right there on the shelf. I know this is a lot easier just to press the button and it plays, but crazy. I mean, just crazy. $5 billion for 10 years. From now on, Monday Night Raw is going to stream live on Netflix. You go back to like 2013. Stevie Breach would have loved for Monday Night Raw to be live on Netflix. I remember when I cut the cord, Netflix and Hulu was kind of like what I lived off of. Monday Night Raw, you had to have like an illegal stream to get on. I know these days like Netflix like keeps on getting like more and more expensive each and every year. But this is a huge value. I know that YouTube TV is creeping up, and it seems like it's getting more expensive each and every year. They're adding a little bit more, but it's almost like what a cable subscription used to be back in the day. It'd be hard to clip it because I think mostly I watch Impractical Jokers and I watch sports. I watch my Sacramento Kings. I watch whatever football's on TV, and try to keep up with baseball, honestly, as much as I can. That'd be hard to do, but I think this is big, and I know it's going to be a little bit of a change. It's going to be different. We knew that was going to happen when the TKO deal went through. They paid so much money for WWE to be, part of them. It's still weird that Vince doesn't own them, but this does change the pay-per-view model. And I know they haven't been on the pay-per-view model probably since the network went live in 2013. They started giving us, all of the pay-per-views, including WrestleMania, for free. From here on out, it's going to be kind of like the ESPN deal with UFC, where Monday Night Raw and SmackDown will be free. They'll also have other free shows that come along the way. But then we're going to have to start getting used to like what it was like back in the day when we used to have to buy the pay-per-view. Does that mean that illegal streams, which I'm not an idiot, they're still out there. I don't know why somebody wouldn't have a Peacock subscription in 2024 to watch WrestleMania or Elimination Chamber, Survivor Series, something like that. But I'm not an idiot. They're still out there. I'm not digging for them anymore. Now when they do pay-per-views like Backlash or like Hell in the Cell, or I'm trying to think of those pay-per-views that like always had like one match that was like, I want to watch that, but I don't want to pay $50 for it. Netflix is going to want to get their money back, and I'm sure there's a kickback for WWE on the back end to have good shows that get over a certain pay. They get more money, like a bonus, to come back. That's gonna be weird. I'm sure there's wrestling fans. I'm sure there are kids out there that started watching in the last what year is it? I guess 10, 11 years that don't even know what a pay-per-view is. They don't know about going to ask their dad for $60. Well, it wasn't even asking for $60. It was asking for permission to put $60 on the cable bill. That was crazy. That was hard. That was like the in-your-house pay-per-views. If you're my age out there, those ones were a lot easier to get through. Like if you're bugging your dad for, I can't remember if they were $10, $15, $20. I mean, if you bugged them enough, they'd just say, like, just do it. Just say you leave them alone. But I remember, honestly, the amount of pay-per-view shows that I watched was probably, like, one a year. And I remember it was a big deal. Like, sometimes I would get SummerSlam for my birthday because it was in August. If it was close to the actual date, it was something that I would ask for. I remember like having like my friends over right after school. It was on the first day. It was on the first day of school that I was in 7th grade. It was Lex Luger versus Yokozuna, and we came over to my house. We watched the show. I went bananas. Then I realized Lex Luger didn't win the match. I thought he won the match, won the title. Title doesn't change hands by countout. Man, I bet my dad was pissed. But yeah, we're gonna have to go back to that. So possibly, I'm not even possibly. So enjoy your last free WrestleMania. Honestly, when it comes down to Peacock, there were people out there that were mad about having to subscribe to Peacock for that Chiefs playoff game last week. That was a damn good game. It was only $5. The world's changing, man. I honestly think with The Office being on there, and they put good movies on there, I'm surprised that I don't think I would cut my Peacock subscription. It's not even that much money. I think I would stick with them. Netflix, definitely. I've had it for years. I can't even remember if I ever had a lapse in my Netflix subscription. It started off being so cheap at $10. Now I don't even know where it is now. What, 12? Maybe it's 15. Geez, now that I'm thinking about it, I got a few. I got Max. I got freaking the Paramount one that I think about dumping every once in a while, and then there's a good movie, and I'm like, oh, well, watch that movie. I got my money's worth, I guess. That's it. But damn, I know that this is gonna be different. This is gonna be weird. I think people right now are in astonishment, and then by the time a year rolls around, I'm such an idiot that I thought it started in January. I thought it was coming up soon. I thought it was like gonna start this deal like right now. I don't know why I thought it was like still December or something like that. It's February, but yeah, I think in a year, I bet you money there's people out there who are complaining about this deal. But I think there's some fans out there that have a crossover, that they know the UFC deal with ESPN. They know they have to have a subscription to ESPN Plus to be able to watch UFC continuously. And then when pay-per-views come around, I know that there's fans that just buy them just out of repetition, or just they just always do it, so they do it, and they don't really complain about it. They like watching it, and that's probably what it's going to be. I'll tell you the truth, off the top of my head, as we're still driving to work, I think this might be a big decision that actually pairs AEW versus WWE against each other. Because when it really comes down to it, I know AEW really isn't running the model of having pay-per-views each and every month. Who knows? Maybe now WWE doesn't do the pay-per-views each and every month. Maybe they realize they can't do it that much. But they're definitely going to try to get as much as they can. But when AEW was running 4 shows a month, or 4 shows a year, I was getting them without even really thinking about them because I wanted to watch the shows and because I wanted to support AEW. And then all of a sudden, when it went to like, I'm guessing that they ran 7 to 8 shows last year. That's when I started being like, wait a minute, do I even know what's on this show? Do I know what I'm excited about? And if it wasn't just one match, I didn't pull the trigger. I know the last AEW show, I believe it was the one that Samoa Joe won the title on. There wasn't enough meat on the bone for me, so I didn't order the show. Do I order every WWE pay-per-view from here on out? Hell no. I think it'll have to be if I... Well, here's a weird thing now that I think about it. Okay, here's one thing I did not get out of the story. If there's pay-per-views on there and they're moving the WWE Network / what's on Peacock over to Netflix, okay, if there's a pay-per-view, how long till the pay-per-view is able to view for free? That's a question that I have. And maybe the answer's not out there. Do they hold it for a month? Do they hold it for 2 months? If let's say like the Royal Rumble's there, and I know I'm not going to watch the Royal Rumble live, how long do I have to wait in order to get it for free? Because that's kind of like what I'm at now. Like the Royal Rumble, I'm not going to be able to watch live on Saturday. But once I get settled in, I'm going to watch at least the men's match. Like when I'm, I guess like not when I'm, I don't want to say that. Like when I'm getting ready for the night to end, I'll watch the men's match. Like, is that something that I would have to pay $50-$60 to watch? Or if I wait until the morning, or if I wait a week, can I then watch it? I don't know. It'll possibly change the way I watch pay-per-views from here on out. So it'll be different. We'll have to see. I mean, when WWE went public a long time ago, back in the 90s, when I bought my first share, things didn't really change, but they changed because it was more about a company making a lot of money instead of just making money. And then, when the network came, it changed because that's when they were really, really about making some money. And now that they sold, it's hard to even think about the company being the company that it was. They got to pay back that deal, and everybody wants bonuses, so everybody's got to be striving here for the next goal. So hey, we're almost there, so we'll end it. But WWE Big Time Bank TKO. Have to see what the stock bell does at 6:30. We're gonna be going live with DDTG. We're pumping the Spirit stock. So hopefully Dave will mention what's going on with WWE. Peace out.